welcome again back to another episode of All Things West Indies Cricket. And we're back again with our expert analysis, Davian Sterling. Welcome, Davian.
Thanks so much for having me here. So excited to discuss more business about West Indies cricket.
Definitely. And today we'll be discussing IPL. All the West Indians in IPL. We'll be looking at those that were unsold, those that they were bought at a very high price, and also those that were retained by their IPL franchise, as well as looking at those that possibly we think can make the starting 11 when
Right.
IPL time comes around. So let's get straight into it. So first and foremost, the players that went unsold, just to
Right.
display, just to display it for the viewers as well. So the players that went unsold: Alec Athanas, Brandon King, Fabian Allen, Jason Ola, Matty Ford, Keemo Paul, Odean Smith, Johnson Charles, O'Shane Thomas, Obed McCoy, and Shamar Joseph. So, Davian, go ahead. Your thoughts on all those players that went unsold?
All right, no problem. So look at it player by player. So Alec Alsanez, we all know his class. He takes on bowlers, but I think why he went unsold, there's no he has no experience playing in Indian conditions, right? So when West Indies tour India, once he dominates in the white ball aspect, he will definitely be bought at the next auction. To also add to that, his CPL 2023 statistics is pretty ordinary, given the talent that he has. I mean, strike rate of 108.6 as an opener is very underwhelming. Average at 23.4 and just one half century. So lack of experience in Indian conditions and his CPL record did not help him any at all. So
But
next
just
CPL,
to add to that, but these 8 matches in CPL, it would have been his only T20 games. So he doesn't play anywhere outside of the Caribbean. He's relatively new to T20 cricket. So wouldn't you have then thought that maybe teams could have selected him as a maybe a X factor top order batsman? I don't know. Your thoughts on that?
I think they want to see more from him before investing in him. And also, if he's bought, he will be he will play at the top order opening batter. And to be honest, in the IPL, making the team as a opening batter, as a foreign player is extremely difficult. And most times when foreign players open, they have a second skill. For example, let's just look at Quentin Danok for LSG. He bats really well, but however, he can Ricky keep. Even Kyle Myers, he's an opening batter, but he's also can swing and seam the new ball. So I see where Ali Atanes
And
can
Faf
bowl.
Duplessis is like captain.
Right. He has excellent leadership
Leadership.
capabilities. So I think other Altanese are also, apart from having better 2020 record and domestic level, he needs to work on his second skill, which is off spin. Either going to be attacking option or defensive option. And also when West Indies tour India and a white ball, he needs to dominate as well.
All right. I 100% endorse that. As you said, the CPL wasn't enough to break in anything. Now, your thoughts on Brandon King now going unsold?
All right. So the thing with Brandon King, during the series, at one point he was ranked number 6. And after the series, he went down to 13. I think why they're a bit reluctant to bring in Brandon King is his defense is not always the best. A lot of times, Brandon King gives away his wicket. So I think when he works more on his defensive game and have more impactful innings, they will look in to buying him. But for him
And I
again,
think and I think as you said, it boils down to second hand skills. His second skill. He
right,
doesn't
right.
doesn't he doesn't bowl. He's not the best of fielders.
Right.
Well, he can, don't get me wrong, he's very good at taking his catches, but in terms of quick in the outfield, like a Shimron Hetmeyer or a Jason Holder, he's not as agile or as mobile. So, I mean, his second skill, he needs to, I don't even want to say work on it because he's just a top order batsman.
He
So,
can be a better fielder. He can improve on his
yeah.
fielding. Right, right. So his fielding, yeah. So he can work on his fielding.
And as he said, he gives his wicket away because if you look at his international statistics, that's a very good average for an opening batter, 28. He recently made that highest score of 85, but he's just not that consistent. He don't get you off to that quick start. So if you look at that, he has out of 45 innings, he has 15 scores over 30 and
Right, right.
20 odd scores then below 30. So again, he's not that consistent getting you off the start. So we can understand why he would be overlooked. But let's just let's not spend too much time on those unsold. Let's just make like a person from there that went unsold that you thought should have or possibly we thought would have gotten a look in. So any one of those players that you think, whether O'Shane Thomas or Jason Holder or Matthew Ford, who do you think right there that went unsold should have been sold in the auction?
See where Captain Jamaica Tyler was in the CPL. So if he can improve on his win record in the CPL competition, then the likelihood of him being bought in the IPL will also improve significantly. Yes, I can hear.
Oh, hot spotting from his sister. Old players, right? Which of those players you thought perhaps could have gotten a sniff in? Maybe a Odin Smith or O'Shane Thomas or Jason Holder or Fabian Allen. Who do you think right there you thought would have been sold in the auction and give a reason why you think they were not sold?
To me, based on that list, I would say Jason Ola was the biggest surprise. Why? He has a lot of experience playing T20 on an international level. He has played some winning performances, but I think why Jason Ola was not bought, he has regressed with the bat. So yeah, I think that is what really, really is hampering him. He is not as effective as a bat as first time. So I think this is opportunity for Jason Ola to work on his batting, how to construct our innings, how to finish. And he is dead bowling. Yes, he can bowl in all three phases, power play, mega overs, and death. But since recently, he has been doing better in the middle overs. For real and truly, IPL teams actually want experts in the power play and death. So that's two section of his game he needs to improve on.
And I'm really glad you brought that up where we see where even recently against England, Jason Holder and Andre Russell, they are two senior guys and um the power play bowling and death bowling, as he said, in the IPL, they tend to look at bowlers that can bowl up front and bowlers that can bowl in the middle because they have their spinners and their medium pacers to bowl in the middle phases. So they want
Right.
express pace to bowl at the front and at the back end. And if you're going to bowl medium pace, you need to have lots of variation, like a Dwayne Bravo who excelled in IPL. But Jason Hole, as he quite put it, his statistics are very good in IPL if you actually look at it. But again, in the death overs part of things, he hasn't really been the guy. Because last year he was playing for Rajasthan Royals with Hetmeyer and He almost lost a couple of games for them that they were clearly favorites to win. So
Right.
his deck bowling, as I said, not as good as it should be. And I think he's working on it for the T20 World Cup. Remember, he's not going to England.
You're
Test,
right to
he's not going to
Australia, right?
Australia. Yeah,
Right,
Australia
right,
for to
right.
work on his T20 skills. So I think we should see a much improved Jason Holder for the Cricket World Cup for West Indies. But he has very good numbers, and I just thought a man of his experience, he at least would have been bought to be a net
May,
bowler, at least a net
may,
bowler.
maybe his base price was too high. Some of these players that were
No, but
unsold,
his base price was 1 crore.
yeah, to be honest, based on what he's offering, I feel one core right now, he has to offer is too high. I
Let's
think
look at
maybe he should
one
have
crore.
gone for like
One
probably 50 lakh, to be
50
honest.
lakhs.
Based on how far he has regressed, Ronaldo, with his bowling in the power play and dead bowling, and he's not an effective finisher, right? He should have really lowered the standards to really get by, and then when he's bought, work himself in, and then when he's performing at a certain level, then they would have increased his price.
All right, definitely, I understand. But I think Jason Holder, 1 crore, that's 65,000 US dollars. I think Jason Holder is worth more than 65,000 US dollars. I think so, but there you have it. Now, the person I thought that would have been picked up in the auction, I know you pointed out Jason Holder. I have to throw in mine as well. So from the
Right.
auction, I actually thought Obed McCoy would have been picked up. Um, Obed McCoy, he hasn't been, just to show some statistics, Obed McCoy, he hasn't been, you know, as effective with the new ball or in the back end as we saw in CPL. But I just thought that given that he's one of the few left-arm seamers going around, and sometimes you just want a left-arm seamer in the nets, especially for those squads that doesn't have a left-arm seamer. I thought Obed McCoy offering his services for 50 lakhs. I think he should have gotten a gig, at least to be a net bowler. But again, they only have a certain number of overseas slots to fill. And so it's very unfortunate. But I was looking forward to Obed McCoy being selected. What are your thoughts on Obed McCoy?
I think what went up against Obed McCoy is fitness. He has fitness issues. As we know, his knee is not the best, right?
Definitely.
And if you're a left arm bowler, I do not get the ball to in swing to right-handers and away swing for left-handers. To be honest, you have really lost your effectiveness. And based
That's
on
in
the
the power
form,
play. In the power play,
right?
right?
We're in power play, right? It does not offer that swing and that C movement. What it offers mostly in the power play is bunks. It gets really good bunks, right?
Yeah.
But over time, batters will get used to the extra, but because they expect it. And some variations like slow deliveries, half cutters, and things like that, back of hand deliveries. But based on his form right now, he's best suited for mega overs. So there's hope for him in the next CPL if he takes out wickets in all three phases of the game and work on his batting. Again, IPL teams love teams who have a second skill to offer. So if you work on his batting, can be a finisher, I'd say number 9, number 10. Because there's some IPL teams believe in having batting depth right to number 11. So he can also work on his batting as well.
Definitely. And we're gonna have to get back to Obed McCoy soon because we definitely need a left arm seamer in our squad. So in
Right,
another
right.
video, we need to talk about left arm seamer and what will West Indies